Welcome to our 5 o'clock update Friday. Playing a little Bruce Springsteen for y'all, Rocky Ground. A little Bruce Springsteen. It's a request, and I actually like this song. Bruce Springsteen, Rocky Ground. Simplify, my brother, DJ Melton. Mo said so. Cassie Fuller, Linnea Cruz, Estelle Martinez, Yvonne Marsh, how you doing? Nyla Ham, Zenaida Gonzalez, have a blessed weekend. Daryl Vaughn, Tita Jenkins, how are you? Trina Thompson, Carlin Brooks, Connie McQueen, good afternoon. Tiffany Williams, Queen Moore, Caesar Moses, Colette Moses, Sherry Sarit, how you doing from Montclair? Diane Murray, Lucy Warren, Ida Williams, how you doing, sister? Tanya Tucker, Dee Marin, hello, how are you? Hope I said that correctly. Nikki Petaway, Obodu, how are you? That's right. Renee Holman, Stacy Perry, Tiffany Jones, Kamisha McMillan, Michelle Coleman, Shirley Danberville, Veronica Bowie, Diane Murray, Patricia Jones, Patricia Monica Salcedo, how are you? Teresa Boyd Hardy, Tonda Williams, Pastor Glory Bonilla, good afternoon. Tanika Melvin, Keisha Sessoms, Amira Abdullah, Asana Marshall, Regina Johnson, Deborah Petty. This is a little Bruce Springsteen, y'all, a little Bruce Springsteen. Anthony McFall, Monique Hedden Bruce, Naga Gillespie, good evening, good evening, good evening. Julianne Cherry, Kathy Peschel. I pray I can get some rest, man. I don't know if I can. Gloria Anderson, Linnell Duncan, Deidre Poole. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Wanda Ralph Harrison, thank you. God bless you. Monica Green, good evening. Latifah Williams, Nadira Felix Muhammad, Diane Smith, Commissioner Jonathan Gordon, Evelyn Torres, Carlos Lane, Reese Purefoy. Have a blessed, fun-filled weekend to you too. Chris Evans, Cheryl Danny, Emmy Love, Josephine Richardson, God bless you and thank you. Keith Smith, Qua Littles, Monica Green, David Brooks, Marjorie Bellamy, David Lippman, I know you did, my brother. Rocky Ground, I played it for you, brother. Annette McDuffie, I like the song too. Jamila Shabazz, thank you. Gladys Santana, how are you? God bless you. Enjoy. May McKnight, Lisette Alvarez Masonette, God bless you. Amira Amatullah Rashid, God bless you. Shout out from New York. Christine Smith, Margie Hill, Tony Adams, Timbekile Sifebe, Ella Flagger, Leslie Satterfield, Sandra Sanders Hall, God bless you too, D. Alice George, thank you, have a great weekend. Kimberly Jones, Lottie Negron, thank you for the prayers. Sharon Tompkins, Brenda, Yvette Brown, I'm concerned too. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Melody Summers Juve, how are you? Good evening. Ha. Thank you. All power to the people. That's right. Principal Bird, don't change the teachings, brother. Day Judd, good evening. Della Nash, shout out. Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all be safe down there, man. Be safe. Be safe. Luis Ortiz, God bless you, man. Can't go wrong with the boss. You better believe it. Bruce Springsteen. Alnisa Salam. I wanted to play the Ghost of Old Tom Joe, but I'm good with this one, you know? Thank you. Kathleen McDonald, how are you? How are you? How are you? Somebody jumped on me about that today. Lisette Rodriguez, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We came out, we tested 235 people on Ferry Street yesterday too. Wanda Barley, Sister Todd White, Cassandra Joy Savage, thank you. Ingrid Johnson, thank you. Thank you. Pastor Gloria Bonilla, thank you. Monroe Johnson, Glenda Potts, Diane Scott, Toya Pace, Gilda Bermudez, Felina Sly, Pamela Gardner, Raheem Kirkland, Tatanisha Peace, Marilyn Dillard. Thank you. Let me get to these numbers. Listen, we were on Ferry Street yesterday. We tested more people on Ferry Street than we do at regular places. Not everybody was happy. I saw a Facebook post of one of the elected officials who was ranting and raving, upset that we were on Ferry Street testing, was upset that we were blocking the streets and stopping business. Our job is we're not there to stop business, but we have to get people tested, particularly in areas where people are hanging out, they're going to eat, party, and just as we suspected, people ate when they finished, they got tested. People went to stores, they got tested. They brought their families out, they got tested. In some of these sites, we test 40 people, 50 people. On good days, we test 150, 160, 170 people. You know, we are rarely up to 200 these days, right? And so we tested 230-something people at Ferry Street, on the street yesterday. Thank you, all the residents. And we did over 100 census. We filled 100 census papers for folks out there as well. So we had a good day on Ferry. Shout out to the East Ward, Ferry Street, Ironbound. Thank you for coming out and participating, get yourself tested, filling out the census. We come into a neighborhood near you, you do the same thing. You come out and we come there, you come out and get yourself tested, come out and get the census done, encourage people to come out. We're going to continue to do this because it seems to be the best way at this stretch of the race to make sure that people are, in fact, being tested. Yup. Okay, Carlos Lane, thank you for that. Our officers need to be wearing a mask, and I'm glad you told him. Hopefully he put it on. You know, they need to wear their masks. They need to. Because one thing why officers need to wear masks is because if they get other officers sick, then all of those people have to be out, and it reduces our population of officers that we have. They all need to, in fact, wear the mask, specifically since they all have gotten tested, they need to wear their mask. We have 7,820 positive cases today. 7,820 positive cases, which is an increase in 7 from yesterday, an increase in 7. 328 deaths. 628 deaths. 628 deaths, which is 1 new death from yesterday. 1 from yesterday. 1. Essex County has 18,659 positive cases with 1,775 deaths. New Jersey is over 170,000 positive cases and over 13,000, in fact, deaths. East Orange is over 1,900 positive cases with 211 deaths. Irvington is over 1,400 positive cases with 148 deaths. And Orange is just getting over 1,000 cases with 83 deaths. Let me go by the zip codes. 07102, 277. 07103, 903. 07104, 1620. 07105, 1276. 07106, 823. 07107, 1323. 07108, 618. 07112, 613. 07114, 315. Deaths by zip code. 07102, 30. 07103, 110. 07104, 136. 07105, 48. 07106, 72. 07107, 79. 07108, 69. 07112, 53. And 07114, 24. Look, folks, our infection rate is down. When we first started testing, we were at a 68% infection rate. 68%. 68%. Today, we're at 5%. We're from 68% to 5% because of the great work that you guys are doing. We need to continue to do that. How do you sustain that rate? Put on your mask. Some people wear a mask, and when they talk, they put it under their chin. That defeats the purpose. The reason why you're wearing the mask is so when you talk, you can cover your mouth. So when you cough and you sneeze, you can cover your mouth. It defeats the purpose to pull the mask down to talk. It makes no sense to wear it if that's what you're going to do, right? People come up to me and do that, and I have to tell them to put their mask on. You cannot wear the mask and pull the mask down and talk to people. If you need to breathe or get some air, go away from people and pull the mask down. Don't get amongst people, then pull your mask down. You have to learn how to talk through the mask. So when you're spitting, it goes into the mask and not on people's face. And when you're breathing, they're not breathing it in. And when you're coughing or sneezing, it is not getting on them. We have to be considerate. Wear your mask. And I want to thank everybody. I know there was folks on here calling people snitches yesterday. I want to thank everybody, man. Listen, for reporting people whose stores shouldn't be open, for reporting people who don't wear masks in their stores, for reporting people who are not doing the right thing, who don't have stickers, for reporting those people. Why? You are helping us to manage a public health crisis. We have a public health crisis in this country with no cure and no vaccine. We have the highest cases in the world. In the world, we have the highest cases in the world, and our cases are increasing. Some states have the largest increases that they've ever had since the beginning of the virus. That means they spiked at one point early on in the virus. You're supposed to spike and go down like we did. They spiked, went down, and the next spike was higher than the first spike. The next spike was higher than the first spike. Why? They became careless and cavalier. They got cabin fever for being in the house, and they went outside and they just did whatever they wanted to do. Listen, I'm getting all kind of stuff. People fussing because the basketball courts are down. And I understand it. And they blame it on the children don't have anything to do. I would rather we be creative and figure out stuff for the children to do than for our children to get sick because we're just not conscientious and disciplined enough to do what's necessary to keep our community and our families safe. Some of us just don't have the discipline to keep their families safe. So we have to do it for you. And so we take the rims down. And when it's time to put them back up, we will. We will. And they say, oh, outside is opening up. But outside is not completely opening up. It is opening up slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. We'll get to those basketball courts. We'll get to those things when the time comes. We're not even in July yet. Give us some opportunity to go down. You go into other people's cities, creating all kinds of activity. I pray for those people up there to protect themselves. And I pray that you don't bring it back here to the city of Newark. Remember, I told you the first couple of cases we got in Newark were from people who commuted back and forth from the city, who worked in the city and lived here and some of them just recently. So we have to be careful when we travel. That's why there's a travel ban, right? To these places: Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Utah, Texas, Georgia, and California. I added the last two, the Georgia and the California. If you go to those places, you have to quarantine for 14 days when you return. Or if you were smart, you just go get a test when you get back. Quarantine for the days you get tested. If you're negative, then you know you're negative and you go back to normal and let everybody know you got tested and everything is good. But you quarantine for 14 days. Quarantine for 14 days. If in fact you travel to those places. If you're a city employee and you travel to those places knowingly and you do it on purpose and you come back, you obviously gonna have to quarantine. If you don't want to quarantine, you're gonna jeopardize your job. I'm telling you that right now. That's what's gonna happen. So you have to quarantine. The New Jersey governor mandated that. We talked to Port Authority this morning and asked them to help us. Amtrak, New Jersey Transit, everybody to help us out, help us figure out people who are coming back and making sure that well people are coming and not sick people. It's important for us to do that. And if you cared about your community, you would do it on your own without being forced to. They're putting pretty hefty fines on individuals, but you shouldn't want to be fined. You should do it out of the goodness of your heart and the concern you have for the residents of this city to, in fact, quarantine. Just want to remind you of our pop-up COVID-19 testing sites and census like we did yesterday on Ferry Street. On Monday, we'll be at 2nd Avenue on Mount Prospect Place. It's called Mount Prospect Park. 2nd Avenue on Mount Prospect Place. That's where we'll be. On Wednesday, we'll be at Independence Park. Friday, we'll be at School Stadium. Right now, as I'm doing this, I just left there. We're at Pennington Court right now. We're at Pennington Court. If you know people in Pennington Court or around Pennington Court, tell them to come in and get a free COVID-19 test. Get a free COVID-19 test. We're at Pennington Court right now doing the testing. There are obviously stand-up testing sites all over the city, but we're there right now. We're going to be there to 8 p.m. at Pennington Court. We're going to be there to 8 p.m. at Pennington Court. All of the pop-up testing sites that we do will begin at 3:30 and end at 8 p.m. It will begin at 3:30 and end at 8 p.m. Because we want to catch people coming home from work. We want to catch people hanging out. So please make sure you get tested if you have not been already. If you have been now and you're negative, use precaution. Don't be around a lot of people. Make sure when you go in places they do what they're supposed to do. Wear your mask and make people wear masks when they're talking to you. Some people are so selfish and they're so nihilistic. They're concerned about their own well-being, and not everybody else's. They just talking and yelling and be like, I'm positive. I'm okay. I'm negative. I don't have the. Listen, folks, wear your mask just out of the to reduce the anxiety of individuals who are scared to death that you don't have the care or discipline to wear a mask while you're in front of or talking to other people. Please. Tomorrow, East Ward cleanup, Eddie Mariah Stadium. You can pick your supplies up at 8:30 a.m. or Ferry and Wilson pick supplies up at 8:30 a.m. Dumpster locations, y'all. Pennsylvania Avenue and Astor Street, one dumpster. Next dumpster, South Street near Herman Street. The next dumpster, McWhorter Street between Oliver and Chestnut. McWhorter Street between Oliver and Chestnut. New York Avenue near Ann Street. Madison Street near Downing Street. Van Buren Street near Ferry Street. Magazine Street at Martin Street. Fleming Avenue near Mott Street. Hawkins Street School. And of course, Eddie Mariah Stadium on St. Charles between Rome and Ferry. Those were all of the dumpsters will be to clean out the things that you need to clean out that have been in your house and that's on your block and on the street that you're cleaning up for us. Please. We need you to fill out the census, folks. We are coming to the COVID-19 pop-up sites, but we need you to fill out the census. We're at 44%. We need to get to 50% or higher. We need to get to 50% or higher before the people come knocking on doors. I would love to get way above 50%. I'm trying to be realistic. We need to get 50%. If you have not filled it out, fill it out or call 844-330-2020, 844-330-2020, 844-330-2020. Oh, that's a good thing, Kettles. I didn't know that. I want to shout those liquor stores out who are hiring community residents to man the entrances and ensure that capacity is adhered to and the people are wearing masks. Shout out to those folks. If you're doing that, that's huge because you're going above and beyond and you care about the residents of this city. That's incredibly huge. Incredibly huge. Somebody asked me what the death rate is in the country. Right now in the United States, we have almost 130,000 deaths, almost with 2.5 million positive cases. We have the highest cases in the world, right? That's what we are. And a good point to Pastor Gloria Bonilla. A lot of people, because it's hot, take their masks off. And I would say, it's hard to breathe sometimes with the mask on. So walk away, go by yourself, take it down, get some air, take it off a little bit, breathe, get comfortable. When you come around other people, put the mask on, please. When you come around other people, put the mask on. Put it on. Nancy U. Perez, we're working on the firecrackers and the fireworks. We've been, actually, the last couple of days, it's gotten a little better. Our folks have been out there talking to people. It's gotten a little better. Still way off the hook, but it's gotten a little better than it has been. Maisha, yeah, you said it's too, they're trying to kill us off. Hey, listen, these people, what it is the economy, and people are worried about the tanking economy, and which is also a problem. So people are more concerned about the economy tanking than they are about people's health, which is why you see what's happening all over the country. You have emergencies in some states where hospitals are going back to being full and problematic. Listen, in Newark, I just want you to know, when our hospitals were full in Newark, people were being turned away, right? They had to go back to their house, and they were in their home, and people were dying in their home because they couldn't get to the hospital. Not just from COVID, though, by the way. They were dying from other things in their house. 4 times as many people were dying this year than last year in their home. 4 times as many people were dying in their home this year than last year because they could not or would not go to the hospital. I'm telling you. And we do not need to be back at that place where a bunch of people were in fact getting sick, 200 and 300 people a day, where the funeral parlors had bodies filled up in them and they had nowhere to store them, where the city had to get refrigerated trucks to bring people out. It is awful. We don't want to go back there. So we need to be careful. We need to be cautious and careful. I guess that's cautious and careful together. Careful. We need to be both of those things because, it can come back. It can come back and it can come back with a vengeance. So let's be careful there. Be careful there, right? Good point, Tasha Davis. Spend some time with your children. This is a chance to talk to them, read to them, give them information. Tell them your family history. Talk about your grandparents, how you got to Newark, all this other stuff. Do things with them collectively besides letting them go hang out in the street, run in Nat Turner Park, like set the park on fire with fireworks, or run up and down the street, or play in the 10th Street Cemetery, or walk across Irvin Turner Boulevard in groups and packs. Spend some time with them at home. This is a time to be still, to settle down, to figure out what's going on and deal with your family. This is a great and opportune time to do that. And we won't ever get time like this again. We won't ever get time like this again, ever. We won't ever get time like this again, ever. Absolutely. Yep. And so how can you enforce people, right? You really can't. So Port Authority is going to help us, and other folks are going to help us try to figure out people who travel, but it's really an honor system. And I tell you this, they are finding out who is traveling. If they find out you go there and you come back, then they're going to fine you. It's a huge fine. It's a huge fine about that. Xavier Martinez, the churches have been given permission to open 50% of the capacity of your church, 25% of the capacity of your church, or 50 people. 50 people or 25% the capacity of your church, masjid, wherever your house of worship, I should say. And that's still a possibility. And if I was in church with people, I would wear masks. I would ask my pastor is things being cleaned up, to make sure. I would bring my hand sanitizer. I would wipe things down, and I would not be shaking people's hands, and pray that they don't do the part when everybody has to hug, because you don't want to be hugging people in the middle of a pandemic. Yep. We're not arresting people, Miriam, for popping fireworks. We're not going to do that. We're not going to arrest people for popping fireworks. That's not going to happen. You guys just have to be angry with me. We're not going to arrest people for popping fireworks. We have a task force, Annette, for the fireworks, and they out there right now. They've been slowing a couple of these places down. You just got to call and put up here with a place you're talking about, the address, and I'll send the people too. We are not going to lock people up for that. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. We absolutely have to do that without a shadow of a doubt. And these people that are having events, you should hold them accountable for it. Like if you go to people's events and they're not social distancing, you should either leave. I mean, they don't have masks on or social distancing. You should either leave or stay and tell them, right? Get them to pass out masks. Yep. Paper shredding day. I was supposed to find that out for you, Jacqueline. I'll find out tomorrow. Promise. I forgot about that. I'll make sure you get that information I'll make sure you get that information about that. I'll make sure. So there's nothing you can do about the rate of unemployment, Skizzy. There's nothing you can do about that. The rate of unemployment is based on furloughs and layoffs. Private companies, if they don't have the resources, or the public sector, they don't have resources, they're going to lay you off. If they don't get good negotiations with unions, they're going to lay you off. They're going to fire you. The problem is, can you get unemployment relief from the government, unemployment relief from the state government? And we have to keep pushing to get the unemployment relief. But ultimately, it takes us to stay on it over and over and over again. The eviction, you can't be evicted right now in the middle of this. You cannot be evicted right now under this. There is a moratorium on evictions, right now. So it's important. And if you need more information, you can call our Office of Tenant Legal Services, and you can get more information about that. Right? There are good question, niece. A lot of good statement. A lot of kids are out here without masks on. A lot of kids out here without masks. A lot of them. People are sending their babies outside without masks. Not good, y'all. Not good. You need to. And listen, what's happening all over the country is now affecting everybody. It's before children were exempt. That's not the case anymore. Donna Martin, the police went over to that, and there are no bodies in there, right? So I don't know. There might have been a video of one, but we went over there. It was none in there. So you could rest assured. We went over there with inspection and ERT. There was nothing in there when they went in there. Good point, Linda Bart. Everybody is not going to do right. Some people are going to do what they want to do. Everybody didn't quarantine. Everybody didn't stay home. Everybody didn't social distance. We were chasing people home, giving people tickets, doing all kinds of stuff through the whole pandemic. But thank God, the majority of you did the right thing. That's how we moved from 68% to 5%, because the majority of you did the right thing. They did the right thing. The majority of you. And that's what we have to concentrate on. The majority of the people, making sure the majority of us do what's right. The overwhelming majority of us do what's right, right? That we take care of each other. We should make sure everybody has information, that we take care of our block, our community, the seniors in our neighborhood, that we make sure everybody is following the rules correctly, so that we can, in fact, get through this. I know that's right, Diane. If they're not wearing masks at 555, and 555 is a senior building that's on lockdown. I mean, they're jeopardizing themselves. You should stay away from them people. Tell them to wear masks. I'm going to tell our folks to go over to 555 too, and talk to the management about making sure these people are wearing masks. So schools, I know there's a lot of anxiety. People are afraid to send their kids to school. Rightfully so. We just have to be careful. I just want you to know that the superintendent is really taking this into deep consideration. He's working hard to make sure that we open up in a kind of safe and healthy way as we possibly can. I know that. I know that. And I know he's not going to open up for our children if it's not safe, and we're going to do it gradually. We're going, even if we have to neuritize the governor's executive order, we're going to do it to make sure people are in fact safe. People should have their stickers in their window, Cass. It should be in their window, so you can see it. It should be in clear sight. And I'm going to make sure that I make sure that I reiterate that on the phone tonight. Melody Summers, tell me where that's at, please. So I can shoot you, make sure some folks are over there. Tell me where that's at. Absolutely. We're going to get you some help over there. Yep. So, said Tashana, can the landlord have you sign a new lease and go up on your rent? No. There is no rent increases now. None. If your landlord is trying to raise the rent, call the Office of Tenant Legal Services at City Hall. The Office of Tenant Legal Services. You cannot Raise your rent now. Either call there or rent control. Cannot be done. Cannot be done right now. Cannot. Not sure about that, Ronnie. I'll get the information to you when I can. Streets are being paved now, Bo. You have to be patient. We've been tearing up the whole city, and somebody made a comment earlier about water. We've been tearing up the whole city. We've changed 12,000 homes, lead service lines since the beginning. We've changed 12,000 homes, lead service lines, and we have to repair all of those streets, and we're going to come out and get it done. We're going to do it. Trust me, it's going to get done. It's going to get done. It's going to get done. Absolutely. I know you're frustrated, but we're going to get it done. Virginia Sanchez, last question. We're building that lot over there. You see that big giant building and garage rebuilding for the city employees. And it's not just for managers and supervisors. It's first come, first serve. Put your car in there if you can. It's going to be a lot of parking spaces there. Put your car in there. Maybe it'll incentivize you guys to come to work on time. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I have something to read for us to close, and is actually by Frederick Douglass. Is a small excerpt from What to the Slave is the 4th of July. Fellow citizens, above your national's tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions whose chains, heavy and grievous yesterday, are today rendered more intolerable by the jubilee shouts that reach them. If I do forget, if I do not faithfully remember those bleeding children of sorrow this day, may my right hand forget her cunning, and may my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. To forget them, to pass lightly over their wrongs, and to chime in with the popular theme would be treason most scandalous and shocking, and would make me a reproach before God and the world. My subjects, then fellow citizens, is American slavery. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend.